What do you do, baby? English Friday, baby. Yeah, been a long time no see, but it's a big one today. Yo, my main man, we recorded this podcast a long time ago. Almost a year ago. Maybe not a year, but 8 months ago. So before the season, during all the COVID thing. It's still the COVID thing, but it's less of a thing now because everybody's getting vaxxed. I hope so. I got double vaxxed. Feeling like Clark Kent, ripping my shirt off my back. Ugh. But yeah, so we recorded this with Joe Veleno from the Detroit Red Wings a while ago. Everything is still relevant because the kid is amazing, and I call him the kid because he's just younger than me, but he's bigger than me. He can smash my face with one punch, but dude is amazing. Great guy, great heart. I remember, so last year he came at Classique KR for the first time, and he was the absolute best, being so great with the fans and so great with the players and with the non-players that were players. So love the guy, and can't wait to see him at Classique KR 6. The event at which you can buy the tickets at classiquekr.ca. Donc everything goes for le camp. An organism, do we say organism? Or a foundation that take care of families who have kids affected with leukemia. So yeah, Joe is great. Classique KR is gonna be fun, and I hope you enjoy the pod because I enjoyed doing it. It's one of our long ones. So I hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Sans Restriction. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube now. We got the YouTube thing going now. We got the YouTube thing going now. We young, wild, and free. Follow us on YouTube at Kevin Raphael. Just type in Sans Restriction. We'll get all the library going, and let's have some fun. Let's have some fun with this YouTube thing. Let's have some fun with the next steps of the podcast, and let's have some fun listening to my main man, Joe Veleno, baby. All right. So I'm very happy to have this guy on the pod because he's my dude. He's my dude. That guy is a nice guy, but I'm still mad at the man because it was 13-13 Classique KR. Melody Daou pass the puck to Poo shot, crossbar. Pucks goes the other way. Outman rush. Who shots? Who scores? This man, Joe Veleno. How you doing? I'm still hurt, brother. I'm still hurt.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that.
Bro,
but I'm doing good though.
That was one of the sickest Classique KR goal of all time. Like buzzer beater kind of shit.
I know, it was pretty crazy actually. Even for myself, I was like, geez, did this really happen? But boys were pretty pumped at me.
Yeah,
a lot of excitement on the bench and on the ice. It was pretty intense. It got heated up pretty quick.
Yeah, because the problem with that game is we think we can play with y'all until I guess the end of the third period, the end of the second period. Until the end of the second period, we're like, oh, we can play with those guys, and then y'all start playing like crazy maniacs, and then we're like, well, we'll stay on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know where we were the whole game. I mean, I just kind of was playing with the puck a little bit, making some passes, but then once I saw it was really serious, and Dookie told me on the bench, they're like, if you get a chance to score, make sure you score. I'm like, okay, all right. And it just kind of as soon as he told me that, I'm like, okay, Dookie, I'll do that. I'll make sure to score, because I don't even think I had a goal in the game yet or anything. I was just making some passes and trying to get the other guys to score. But then afterwards, I just kind of turned it on a little bit, and we won the game. So
the crazy thing about that game is Duke and your whole team, y'all think it's the Stanley Cup, and us too, but they take it so seriously. I'm like, guys, it's for the kids. I'm just happy I scored and that's because of your stick. You gave me a stick and I scored for the first time in 3 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but man, when y'all guys start skating, it's a problem for everybody.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know. I mean, it's just I don't I don't even I have no words for it, but it was
Yeah,
just
because you
honestly
guys
a
are
great.
fast.
We are fast, but we try to slow ourselves down a little bit just to get the game a little slowed down, and have make the other guys play with the puck a little bit. And it was honestly a lot of fun though. Like it's nice to be on the ice with people who kind of don't really play hockey for a living for once. And it's for me as a player, like I like to share the puck and I like to make some passes rather than score a lot of goals. So for me, it's I don't know, kind of nice to like build a little bit of chemistry with everyone else and talk a little bit on the ice and crack a few jokes here and there. So I really enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, and by the way things are going in the NHL, y'all guys change team every second. So you never know if Classique KR is the beginning of something. Oh
Yeah,
man.
you never know. You never know.
So question for you. How's Sweden?
Yeah,
Because you're in Sweden right now.
yeah. It's pretty cool, honestly. I'm enjoying it over here. I think it's probably the most normal country at this point compared to everyone else. But going to a grocery store and you don't have to wear any masks or
What?
everything. Yeah, everything like rinks are. You don't have to wear masks in the room or anything or at the rink. Like we have no fans right now, but trainers and stuff like that. Like there's no mask. Like it's not mandatory to wear one. It's if you want to for your own safety, like you could, but like you go into a restaurant, you can sit down, you can have a meal with no mask on or anything. Like it's pretty normal, like over here.
Yeah, so you're rubbing in our face, eh? Us, it's death. Okay, we
Yeah,
are
I heard.
fucked here.
Yeah, I heard big time.
Oh God, y'all don't have to wear a mask. Like for me, it's something that will happen in like 10 years. Not wearing masks. How crazy it is to because you left like a month ago, I think, a month and a half ago.
Yeah, yeah, about I think like 2 months, 2.5 months ago.
Okay, so you went from having a mask in the groceries to no mask. Like, were you like shocked, or you were, well, I'm just gonna wear my mask and not give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, it is the right thing though. Like I mean, at this point, to wear a mask and I mean, I don't know what their, what their theory is over here, but they just kind of like seem to be really, loose about it. Although like they do take their precautions, like the keep your distance signs and all that stuff. So I mean, it is nice, obviously, not having to wear a mask. You just, you don't always have to think about leaving the house, having your mask with you or forgetting about it. So I mean, that's the only nice part. But I mean, it's I don't know, like said, we're going to look back at this in a couple of years, and I think it's going to take a long time before things get back to normal again.
Are you because how does it work for you? So you play in Sweden right now, but there's no AHL right now, so you're not going there. Or are you gonna try to make the camp in Detroit, or how does it work for you?
Yeah, so I mean, the contract that I had signed here right now was for the whole year, just because we didn't know like when the AHL was gonna start, and also the NHL. So speaking with like Steve Eiserman and my agent Phil, they both thought it was the best idea for us to for all the young Detroit prospects to keep playing hockey, because they felt that would take a year off our development, and they didn't really want that. So they kind of wanted us to play in a really really good league that was up and running, and that we play a lot of and have a lot of ice time and really get a chance to develop. So Sweden, I think, was the best option. And since we got here kind of late, like in October, the season started in September. So it was kind of hard to find a um, team that would take a player for only a certain amount of time. Like a team wanted the player for the whole year. So we just figured that, okay, well, at least I'm going to be playing here. And I think if the NHL would start, it'd be probably like January, February. So I would only miss, really like a month of the NHL, and then depending on what Detroit wants to do with me, then I would just join the team or join the roster after my season would be here. So that's still like pretty undecided yet. They haven't told me anything that much. We're a couple prospects down here in Sweden for the whole year, like Moritz Seider too, which was the sixth overall pick the year before me, and a couple other Swedish prospects. But we're stuck here for the whole season, and then we're going to see whether Detroit wants us to come join them after the season, or if we kind of just take a break and can have a longer off season.
Okay, it's not that bad. You can join the team after, so it's not that bad.
Yeah,
You can play like two seasons in one.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was just there was more of the concern about like not having to play at all, and since we were off since last March, it's the NHL finally decided to start in January, so it's almost a full year of just not playing hockey. And right now, I've played about 20 games, so I've been in the groove of practicing and playing, and being in a team atmosphere, and it's been a long time, so I just kind of missed that, and I really wanted to play some hockey and play at a high level, and this was the best option for I think a lot of people.
Okay, but when you arrive in Sweden, are you like, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but are you like, yo, I'm about to fuck that league up, and then you go on the ice and you're like, oh, they are very good here?
Yeah. No, I mean, I did have a lot of confidence coming into Sweden, obviously, because I played in a bit better league the year before in the AHL, and Sweden, it was known to be like considered maybe the third best league in the world. Depends. There's a lot of debates about that between the SHL and the KHL in Russia, but I think here it's a tougher league to play in terms of like. I think more defense oriented. Like the leading scorer will probably finish the year with like a point per game and maybe a little more. But so it's really tough to get points here. And a lot of coaches stress a lot on defense and back checking, and playing on the bigger ice. Obviously, it's pretty tiring skating around, playing a lot of minutes. So it's a tough league. It's tougher, I think, than a lot of people think before they step on the ice. But I knew that the league was really good. There were some really good players that were playing here, and they're either former NHL players or players that are close to playing the NHL, or players that played in the American League or in the East Coast. So it's a really good league, and teams are really focused on winning and staying in this league, because there's like a, how do you say it? Like you can get disqualified if you don't finish like in certain like positions. So the bottom two teams at the end of the season play like a best out of three for whoever like stays in the league. So teams are always battling hard, and it's really important to like win your games. And if that happens, like if your team gets like relegated, then like the organization loses money. The city loses money, like people lose their jobs. So it's like a pretty big deal. Like things are taken pretty seriously, like within the the organization and the coaching staff and all that. Like everyone wants to win, and everyone's playing hard every game. So we kind of like were in that position a little bit. We were struggling a lot. But we won like 1 out of our like 10 games at one point, and we had like a big meeting on like things gotta have to change here, or else like a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, because we're the third biggest city in Sweden, and we have like a really nice rink, a really nice facility, and it'd be a shame for us to like go in the second league and be disqualified. Really. Yeah.
But okay, so now just to make sure that the people know when we are, so we're December 23rd. It's 11:27. You're in Sweden, I'm in Laval. This will air probably first week of January or second, we don't know yet. And the league is going fucking crazy right now. everybody's signing
Yeah.
contracts and people are getting traded and everything. When it's live, it's right now. Eric Ola just got traded and Matty Joe just signed a contract. When stuff like that happens and the league goes banana, how do you react? Like, are you on your phone checking and just looking at, yo, am I gonna be traded, or am my teammates are gonna be traded? Or you're like, yo, if something happened, Phil's gonna call me.
No, well, yeah. Usually the agent like knows before the player does. So usually like you're informed about it. But I do like I'm constantly on my phone checking all that stuff, like guys getting traded and guys signing new contracts and all that stuff. Just because I'm a part of that business now, and um, it's always nice to see other teams and other players on where they're going. And obviously sometimes it can be a little aggravating just because, let's say Detroit were to sign like another center or like another really good center, then then I'm like, oh shit, like I gotta like wake up a little bit, like I gotta beat him out of like that spot. And so like it's all like a business in that way. Like I'm always like looking at stuff on my phone and hoping things happen, and sometimes hoping things don't happen. So but yeah, like I'm constantly checking all those things all the time.
It's crazy because now that I know more and more players in the league, so I always do like fantasy booking, and my goal is to one day have like a line that played at Classique KR and then play together at the NHL. Not that I want you guys to get traded, but I mean the business is the business, and
That'd be
every
sick.
time that would be sick, eh?
Yeah, that'd be unreal.
But my point is, when a guy gets traded, so we have a group. When somebody signs or whatever, we put it in the group. So do you guys have a group and you be like, yo, this guy is coming in, or it's more individual shit, like you figured out yourself?
Yeah, I think it's more individual stuff. There's not so much of that group stuff that goes on, just because I don't know, like if something maybe bad were to happen, then like you wouldn't want to talk about it, or you wouldn't feel good like sharing it too much with other people. So I think it's more like an individual thing, like kind of keep it to yourself. And if you want to share it, then obviously feel free to share it. But just to be on the safe side, I think a lot of people like it to be more personal and a lot more individual.
You're in Sweden right now, because Bruno told me to put something down on my microphone. Okay, I did it. Okay, so you're in Sweden right now. And for me, Sweden is one of the countries that I'm like, I want to go in that country because, first of all, the countries look sick. But second of all, women's hockey in Sweden is lit. Now, have you had the chance to go watch a couple of games or to talk to the couple of girls?
You know what? Actually, we share our rink with the women's team. Like they're not like very good, but they're whatever. They're the girls' team. Like they're the girls like Malmo hockey team. So there's a really good girls league. There's a really good girls league here in Sweden, and I've seen like a couple highlights just because we have this like TV channel called Seymour, and that's the channel that shows like it's kind of like the TVA of Quebec, kind of like, or the of the QMJHL kind of thing. Like TVA like shows a lot of like, so Seymour like they televise every single game in the SHL, and they're the ones who are like spreading all the sports news and things that are going around in Sweden. So I've had a chance to like stream in on a little bit of that, so I got the chance to like watch the girls hockey, and it's actually pretty good. Like they're
nice.
Like here in Sweden, like they take that pretty seriously, and they talk about that a lot, like constantly in the city as well too. Like especially if the team's good, like you'll hear a lot about that, because chances are like when the girls team's good, like, and you got the men's team that's really good, like the city is just really proud and happy. But it's I've got a chance to watch some highlights of that to answer the question. And
That's cool.
it's honestly pretty cool. Like it's come it's a bit different the way that they play, obviously, but it's come a long way. Like you can see a bit of a difference from the North American style and the European style on how they play. the girls, but it's really interesting and I like to watch it.
But because at the Classique, you played with some of the girls from Team Canada, and then you played against Marie-Philippe Poulin, and then you played against Milady Daou. How was it to play against those girls? Because like Pooh, she maybe doesn't know, but she is a fucking legend.
Yeah. Those girls though are like something different. Like those girls were sick. Like they're not coming in play. Like they're way better than what it is here. But I've got a chance to obviously watch those girls like on TV, and the first time like being at the Classique to actually see them in person, I was like really impressed with Pooh and Melody and the other girls that were there, and it was honestly like I don't know, like I was really really shocked on how good they actually are, and like especially I don't know Pooh, like Pooh talking about her. Just seeing her with the puck and like how she was making moves and scoring some goals and making plays, like it was pretty spectacular to just watch her out there. Yeah, I honestly say that she's the best woman to play the game of hockey. Honestly, like in my eyes.
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
She will not take it, but 100% she is. And the thing is like we our dream is to put women's hockey on TV, obviously, but here it's not. Yeah. But when you play against them, like for me, it was something unlocked in my mind that they are so much skilled. Their hands are insane. Like they do everything fast and everything clean, and they do passes and stuff. Like when you play with the boys they want to shoot.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was really really impressed with how those girls were able to make all those plays, and I think a lot of people like underestimate that, and it was the first time I got to see it like in person and watch them play in person. And lucky enough, the first girl I got to see in person was Marie-Philippe Poulin. So I was really shocked and really pleased with what I saw on the ice.
Yeah, you can make sure that this pod lives on forever. Forever, ever, forever, ever, by buying stuff on zonekr.ca. Zonekr.ca. You can buy anything on there. Anything sans restriction will give money to the pod and make sure that this pod lives on forever. You can add the code ABS, HABS, HABS, because in English it's not abs, big abs. No, it's HABS. You need to pronounce the H. Habs. This is like the wrestler. You know the wrestler Triple H? Triple H. Habs. Okay, let's go back to the interview.
Talk to me about the World Juniors. It was a crazy World Juniors. I know Laffy, pretty much. We had Akil Thomas on the pod last week talking about that crazy goal and that crazy game. How was it for you? You're an assistant captain. You're already playing in the pros. I mean, you play with some of the big boys, and then you go back to win the gold for Canada. How was it for you this game? And for you, from your view, can you describe me how it felt to see that goal of Akil Thomas?
Oh, there were so many roller coasters of that tournament. Like it was probably the most fun hockey I've ever had in my life, to be honest. And every game was like, I don't know, like the atmosphere in the arena. Like it was in Czech Republic, and we were kind of wondering like what the fans would be like over in Europe. We were like kind of like disappointed, like it wasn't in Canada, because we had a really really good team, and the year before it was in Canada. So we're like shit, like only if it was in Canada again. But honestly, like it felt like we were in Canada, like felt like we were at home. We found out that over 3,000 Canadians from Canada traveled to Czech Republic just to watch us play for the tournament. So the first game against the US, we stepped on the ice, and when the announcer said like, "Welcome Team Canada," it was just like all Canada cheers. Like it was crazy. Like it felt like there was 10,000 people that were just, cheering for Canada, and it was all like white and red in the stands. And then when Team USA came on, it was like boo, boo. Like they were hating every other team except us. And even when we played against the Czech Republics on New Year's Eve, it was insane. Like it felt like we were the home team, even against the Czech Republics. Like I guess the Czechs just loved us. And obviously, like going to your question and seeing Akil Thomas score that goal, like everything was just spectacular. Like we came back from 3-1, made it 3-2, 3-3. And then, like, I think it was, I don't even think he played that much that period and the whole game, in a matter of fact. And he stepped on the ice and, like, just put on, like, a sick goal. Like, it was just incredible. Like, everyone thought, like, nothing's going to happen off this play. And then you saw him, like, get closer to the puck and, you know, able to, like, toe drag it past the goalie's stick and just backhand it into the net. And, like, the fans were going crazy. We were going crazy on the bench. I was on the bench on that play, and I was honestly like trying to like recover from my last shift. So I just heard like a bunch of screaming and I was like, oh shit, like we scored. So I started jumping up and down on the bench and everyone was like going crazy. Like this could be probably the biggest comeback in like, you know, World Junior final history. And it was like we faced a lot of odds. Like we lost 6-0 against them in the pre-tournament and then, you know, played against them in the finals and was losing 3-1. And I think a lot of people thought like the game was going to be over with like 10 minutes left. And we came back and tied the game really quick and won the game in regular time. So it was pretty spectacular.
But so you played 2018, 2019, you played, and then 2019, 2020, you played. What's the difference between those two games? Because for me, when I saw you play at Drummondville, I'm like, yo, this dude is a bad boy. He's going to dominate that tournament. And then, I mean, it didn't go as well as last year. What was the difference between the two?
Well, it's the first year was I don't know. There was just it's a tough tournament to decide. You know, there's a lot of good players. You know, first of all, there's a lot of good players going into that tournament, and it's mostly a tournament meant for you know, I'd say like 19. So like the older guys, so the 19-year-olds rather than the 17, 18-year-olds. Obviously, with certain exceptions, but I don't know. I just thought like you know, I'm a player that able to play like anywhere in the lineup. Like I can play, you know, a bottom six role. I can play like a top six role. And, you know, as you said, you know, in the queue, like I was dominating the league at that point. I think like me and Laffy were pretty even in points and we were battling for that number one spot. So we were two of like the hottest players in all of the CHL, actually, in a matter of fact. And yet, you know, we were playing a bottom six role, both of us on the same line and being the 13th forward. And it just goes to show like how many good players are on that Canadian team. And it's obviously the coach's decision, like whatever he feels that, you know, can help the team win. And, you know, thinking of which players to put on which line and what role they're going to have. I mean, that's all his decision that we can't really control as players. So I think that was the biggest difference, was just the opportunity that was given. Obviously, you know, we didn't have that much opportunity given playing on like a bottom six role. And I think that, you know, we're players that you know, when we're given a lot of opportunity and a lot of minutes on the ice, we're able to, you know, to do some damage on the ice. But it was kind of hard. I think that was the biggest difference. It's kind of hard to, you know, put up some points and you know, play really, really well when you're playing over 18 minutes a game rather than playing like less than 6 minutes. So that obviously makes a big difference. And the second year, it was just the opposite. Like I was playing over, I think average every game over 20 minutes a game, like being out there for important face-offs and playing first power play, first PK. And I was just, you know, we were the players that the team needed to rely on to win games. And we embraced that role and embraced the opportunity. And I think that was the biggest difference. Like good players get that opportunity, and players that are given a lot of ice time, I think they get a lot of confidence given to them by the coaching staff. Like it means the coach trusts you on the ice if he's playing you this much, and you just seem to play better, play more relaxed and more confident and create plays and kind of not be scared to make mistakes. So I think that was the biggest difference within the 2 years.
Okay, but because you are a good person, so you will not put respect on your name, but I'm gonna do it for you. You're humble. You're humble.
Yeah,
So in
thanks.
59 games, you got 104 point and plus 63. So not only you're scoring goals, you're not getting goals on you when you're on the ice. So that's kind of
Yeah,
crazy. But
yeah, it
when
was.
go.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so you're getting scored on and you score, but Laffy back in the Rimouski is going ballistic over there. So after every game that you watch, man, let's see where how many points you got in that game, and let's see if I'm first or second. Or do you follow a little bit more what he's doing? Because this dude's going berserk.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I was obviously our team was really really good in Drummondville, so I was, had a lot of help over there with our point, well, with my point production and all that stuff. We had a lot of guys with a lot of guys with over 80 points in the season, and even I think Max Comtois was going to be one of those players, but he only played this like 30 games with us anyways, and I think he had like 30 something goals, so he was going to be a player that was going to push for obviously a scoring title as well. But we just had like an awesome team on Drummondville, and I after some games when I knew, like, before going to the game, if I check like where I was in the standard and the statistics and in the top points, I would look at, like, if Laffy was playing and how many points he got. Like I knew he was always going to get points, so if one game like I didn't get a point, or if I only got 1 point, like I'm like, oh shit, like I'm kind of fucked. Like I know Laffy's got like 2-3. I know Laffy's got like 2-3, and especially like if you look at what team they're playing, they're playing like Shawinigan. They're like last in the league, so he's definitely got like a 4 or 5 point night, and I'm playing against Roy Noranda, who's like the top team in the league, and I'm like, oh shit, like it's going to be kind of hard to get some points. But sometimes I did look at that, obviously, just because I don't know, like I really competitive. Like I wanted, like, being my last year in the queue, like I wanted to win, like a big award and win like the scoring title and win like MVP. So I think I did really well. I think that year, Bandonado finished with like 110 points or something, but he had like 8 or 10 games like more than me and Laffy. I think me and Laffy were like kind of battling. Like I think it was, if we played the whole year and not have gone to World Juniors, I think me and Laffy would have really pushed for that number 1 spot. But I was, the league recognized my, I guess my play throughout the season, and gave me a nomination for MVP. And I was, pretty happy to have been nominated for that at least. And I don't know, like it was a really good year, I thought, for myself and for the team. Although we didn't win the whole league, I think we had a pretty successful season, regular season, and in the playoffs, we had a pretty decent run. Like it was, fun to play in front of our fans, and I guess give the city a little bit of hope. They haven't won or seen the team go past the second round in a few years, so it was nice to be a part of that.
No, but I think the best part was to play with Max Comtois and P.O. Joseph. So so how much of a pain in the ass is P.O. Joseph? Because I'm gonna say it again. I drafted the boy on my team at Classique KR, and I think he finished -9. Talk to me about this boy.
You know what? He's probably the funniest human being I've ever played with. Like, I roomed with him too on the road. He was my roommate in Drummondville on the road, and we had some good laughs. Like, he was so odd. Like, he was so unique, like so different. Like, this guy would, I don't know, he would eat so much candy on the road, like so much chocolate and junk food, but yet he'd step on the ice and be like our best defenseman. And it was like, crazy, just like how fast he skated, like how well he moved. And he was like so skinny, so slim, just like kind of his brother. Like I played with his brother too in St. John. So I played with both of them, and they're kind of like the
For
same
you.
character. Like they love their they love the candies, they love the chocolate, they love like the greasy food. But yet when they step on the ice and come to work and come to practice, like they're great players. Like they're fast, they're humble kids too. They're really fun to hang around with. They're jokesters, kind of. They have a special character that lightens up the locker room, and that a lot of people like to be around. So they're both two brothers that are really well liked within the league, and I got to experience that firsthand. Like I said, I played with both of them, and I think I've known Pio a little longer just because he's closer in age of me, and I played against him when I was younger and played with him for a longer time. And they're special characters, they're special breeds, I'll tell you.
Okay, so both of them are part of the group I was talking about on
Yeah.
Instagram, and we that group is a cesspool of chirp, but it's what we love. That's who we are. I need to know, and I'll put that in the group. Look, I'm gonna open the group right now, and I need to know. You gotta pick one guy in your team between those two brothers. Who you picking?
Oh, that's so tough.
Oh, I know who I'm picking, and that's not Bill.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably Matthew. Pio's gonna hate me anyway, so.
Just buy him a candy, and the boy's gonna be all good. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man, and
Brian.
I always get to play with Max, except the fact that he plays NHL all the time. But I was to play with Max.
Yeah, it was good. I didn't play with him. He only came like half the season, so I didn't get to spend that much time with him. But we'd hang out like off the ice a little bit. He lived pretty close to my billet, so like he always wanted to do something, or we'd go out for lunch and stuff like that. But I've known Max for I don't know, like a couple of years now. Like I think over 5 years. Like we've played against each other ever since we were like 14 years old. So
Crazy.
Obviously Lac St. Louis and Chateauguay had always that rivalry growing up, like in minor hockey. So, we played against like Bibo, like Baudin, Morin, Comtois, like all these guys. And, we had like the Lac St. Louis group that I think were not that many that came out of there with that age group. I think it was just me and maybe Durando as well. So, it's like we've always had like a bit of a rivalry, and we've kind of always hated each other growing up. But then when we all entered the queue, it was kind of like one day we'll end up on the same team. We'll never know. And lucky enough, I ended up with like all the Chateauguay guys. I was with Baudin, and I was with Comtois, I was with Duquette, I was with all these guys, and even Steve Hartley, the coach that was coaching against me growing up. So it was kind of weird at first when like it was almost like half the Chateauguay. There was like 5 Chateauguay players on that team, and Halifax, I think at that time, had all the Lac St. Louis players. So I was like, well, can you guys like trade for me? Like, I want to join the Lac St. Louis guys. And it was honestly like it was so funny because like if I would have been on that Halifax team, like it would have been crazy because in the semifinals we played against like it was Drummondville Halifax, so it could have been like Lac St. Louis Chateauguay again kind of thing, and play against like all those guys. And it felt a little weird. Like we hated each other growing up, but then I became like really good friends with all of them at the end of the day. Like Baudin was a guy who I roomed with. He lived at the same billet with me, and we still keep in contact in the summer and train together on the ice sometimes and play 3-on-3 or 5-on-5. So I've built like good relationships with a lot of those guys, and I never thought I would have done that like when I was younger.
Hey, it was a pleasure to talk to you, my man. Spoke for 36 minutes now. So I don't know if you know this Duolingo shit app. I don't know what it is. Duolingo. I don't know if you know the app.
No, what's that?
It's an app you're learning words, and on my Duolingo, it cost me almost $100 a year. Okay, and on that app, I decided that I was learning Italian. Now,
Really?
yeah. So I'll tell
How
you,
do you like that?
I suck.
It's a hard
I,
language. It's not easy.
look, I'm at Sono e Kevin, Sono e Rigazzo,
Yeah.
and fuck. That's 2 years. 2 years of me trying to learn. I know
Come
Buongiorno
on.
Principessa. I know Buongiorno Principessa. That's the one that I need. That's when I go to
Yeah,
Milan.
yeah.
That's the one that
Yeah,
I need. But
that's the one right there.
yeah, that's the clutch one, the one that I learned first. But then I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm at Sono e Rigazzo, and that's pretty much it, man.
Well, I'm trying to learn Swedish, so hopefully I can maybe use that app and it'll help me
Oh, yo,
out a little bit.
that app is amazing for real though. Like, because I suck and I don't do because they have classes that it's like a game, so you have to click the right words and stuff like that, so you learn that way. But I'm still at base one Italian, so my goal is
Oh,
next
okay.
year's classic. You in my team, and when I tap the stick and I say, give me the puck," I'll say it in Italian, so only you and I will understand.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, my
It's
man.
gonna be like a little secret.
Yeah, you be safe, and next time you see Anthony Mata, okay, he might
Yeah,
he might call you Baby Pacioretty, because on the pod that I did with him, we figured out that you fucking look like him.
I know. You don't understand how many times I heard that. Like everyone tells me that. Everyone. Like
Like you look.
even walking in the streets of Montreal, like people thought I was Max Pacioretty.
And what did you do?
Well, I said I'm not Max Pacioretty.
No, the trick is you gotta let them think. You don't even know how many times they mistake me for another black guy, and I just play the role. I don't give a shit.
You know what? Next time I'll do that. If someone asks me, like, I'll do that. I'll do
Yeah,
that.
and then you get food for free. All right, my man, you be safe, and
All
I
right.
hope you come back soon in the US or in Canada.
Yeah, I know. Nice. It was nice talking to you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, what a great time with Joe, and again, he's gonna be at Classique KR 6, so it's our 6th edition. He's gonna be there. He's gonna be like crushing everything. Like, you know what? He's the one that's we talk about that in the podcast, but he's the one that scored the winning goal last year. I wanted him on my team. He doesn't know that yet. He's not on my team, but it came very, very close to have Joe on my team. But yeah, things kind of happen, and he's not on my team, and I'm still pissed about that, but it's okay. We'll still have a great game, and please, if you can't make it to the game, you can make a donation. Just go on www.classiquekr.ca, make a donation, help the kids with leukemia. It helps their family, it helps everybody around them. It's not an easy thing to go through, and they are the real warriors, they are the real superstars, and that's why I do the Classique KR. So thanks, Joe. Thanks, Bruno, partner of the pod, who's pulling crazy hours right now because with everything going on, but he's the best, the top dog, top dollar, like the wrestler Top Dollar. Yeah, I think I'm calling Bruno Top Dollar from now on. That's Bruno Top Dollar. So thanks for Mathieu Brutus, who's making the music, and let's have some fun, baby. Let's go.